5, 3, 2, 1, action! Hello, I'm
Renee, a Year 2 ABM student, and today in our pilot series, we will be interviewing a Singaporean busker, Paul Chen. So we're here to get to know him better, and we'll also be doing a mini game of song association after the interview, so do stick to the end for that segment. So Andrew, would you like to give a short introduction to the viewers?
Hi. Hi, I'm Paul Chen. I am a singer-songwriter, a guitarist, and a performer. My inspiration to start busking is actually 3 years ago when I had this really good friend called Ken Low. He would busk a few times a week. Yeah, he busk a few times a week at Wisma Atria, and there would be steps. And so he just busk in the front. Yeah, and we just have a lot of people just sitting down at the steps, going about the day. They had nothing better to do, so they just sit down, listen, and just have a good time. I remember what really stuck out to me was that I really liked the atmosphere that he was setting. I really liked the mood that he was setting, and it was so pure, so genuine. And especially because, like, you know, performing in Singapore is kind of weird, right? So if you don't have many gigs out there, you kind of just have to make your own. And what I really liked about busking, it was kind of like making your own gig, basically. You just be there in the middle of the street, you're doing your own thing, and it's kind of up to the public whether or not they want to stop and listen to you. And I really like that, yeah. Technically, I've been busking. If you look at a year that I started, I've been busking for about 2.5 years, but this year does not count, and virtual busking is a sham. So technically 1.5 years. Okay, so in terms of genres of busking, interesting. I think that the busking culture in Singapore is actually really varied. You've got so many different acts. You got circus performers, you got magic performers, you have the singers, you have the full-on instrumentalists, you got a few mimes. Yeah, there's this guy called Roy Palmer. I think the busking scene in Singapore is really colourful, and so many different acts, but unfortunately not much space for them to express themselves, to show their art. Yeah, personally I am a singer, so I bring my guitar and my amplifier and my mic, and I just go to Wisma Atria most of the time, set up everything, then I start playing a set. Okay, I think the word is actually interesting. It's interesting because when it's good, it's really good. Like, you get really memorable experiences, you get really cool stories that you can tell people. When it's bad, I think it's the hardest part is just picking yourself up, you know, and like telling yourself, like, you know what, maybe today wasn't so great, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Yeah, not just for buskers, for artists in general, yeah. I'll tell you 2 good and 1 bad. One really cool thing that did happen was when I was part of a proposal. This is really interesting because if you ask a few musician buskers, most of them have been part of proposals, and I think that it's something that's very special for the busker, because otherwise, like, normally when you're just a busker, you feel like, oh, I'm just playing my music, I'm just doing my own thing. But when somebody asks you to be part of that moment in their life, when they ask someone to be their spouse, it's just so yes, yeah, wholesome. Like, it's so wholesome, it's so fulfilling. Also, what happened was I was just busking. The quote that I had with the person who was going to propose, he said that at around 8:45, I'm gonna walk up to the busking case to pretend like I'm going to put in some money. I'm going to turn to my spouse and I'm going to propose. Could you please play You Are the Reason by Callum Scott? Yeah.
Love that song.
Yes, love that song. Absolutely love that song, you know. Like, some people say it's overplayed, I still love it so much. And so at 8:45, he got up, he looked at me in the eye, he just nodded, he walked up to the case and he just pretended to put something in, and then suddenly he just turns. And when he was walking out to the case, that was my cue to start the song. And once the chorus hit, he turned to his wife to be, and he just proposed. He said, "Will you marry me?" And that was incredible. Like, it was incredible because at that point, it's not about you anymore. It's about someone else's defining moment in their life, and you have somehow been a very small part of that, you know, and you've helped to make it more special for them. You know, and yeah, she said yes.
Really magical.
Yeah, it's so magical. It's like something out of a movie.
Yes.
Not that we should chase movie romances, okay? It's fake. Fake. Hollywood is fake. Okay, but yeah, she said yes, and the crowd went ballistic. And like, yeah, and someone sent me the video later, and I was like, yeah, this is why I do it. Another really magical experience was when I was busking one random night. Nothing special, no Christmas lights, no nothing. It's just another night. I wasn't really feeling it that night, like I was just playing. And I was singing a song. I can't remember what song it was. I think it was Ho Hey by the Lumineers. Just remember it was a pretty upbeat song. A couple of about 70 years old got up and just started dancing, you know, like very simple dance, because you know, like they're not so quick on their feet, you know, so just a very slow dance. And then another couple got up, a younger couple this time, they got up and they joined them. And then little by little, you had couples coming up one by one until the whole walkway was filled with couples, and you had guys twirling their girlfriends around from all ages. Like you had couples who were like 20, you had couples who were like 70, yeah, and everything in between. And it was magical because people knew the words to the song, so people were singing along as well, and it was so magical. It didn't feel like Singapore. I feel like why that is so important is because when something like that happens, you are a part of someone else's release. Maybe they had a difficult day, you know, maybe they just wanted to have a moment with their partner. You're part of that release.
That really warms my heart.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. One not so good experience was, I think last year during December, because you know, Christmas period, and Christmas period is the hot period for buskers. Yeah, and then you've got the Christmas lights, the ambience and everything, and it's quite magical. And I remember it was really difficult to find a spot then, because all the buskers, even the ones who weren't licensed for Orchard, they just go there and they just pop by. You can't blame them. I think it was really difficult to find a spot, and I remember there were a lot of disagreements between buskers and a bit of shade throwing. I think like that's when it gets like not so nice, because like then it does feel a little bit like a job, I guess. I think one of the biggest challenges in busking, firstly, is managing your expectations. So, or being an artist in general is managing your expectations, because you are always trying to put yourself out there. You are giving your 100% every single night in, night out. And sometimes you don't really get the returns that you want, you know, or the returns that you sometimes subconsciously start to expect. And also because sometimes, because the art scene is really fast moving, it's important to take a step back and be like, okay, you know, like it's not my time yet, but my time will come. So like, it's also having patience, managing your expectations. Other challenges is I know I joked much just now, but actually existing, but not in an existential crisis kind of way. But I feel like existing as a creative in Singapore is challenging, because I feel that there's a bit of a stigma for locals with local productions, whatever production it is, whether it's dance or theatre or film or music or art or anything in general. Like, and I feel that has changed. It's a systemic thing that does have to change, and artists are not exempt from that responsibility as well. So you have to make people interested in your music. You know, you have to have something different to say from every other guy on Orchard Road singing perfect.
I think it's a lot of personality, right?
Yeah, you have to be genuine about it as well, because like sometimes like if that's not really who you are, I think that it comes across as being a bit disingenuous. One final challenge, I think, is having the motivation, the determination to just keep going even when you don't feel like it. Because sometimes the truth is that when you are in this industry, there's not going to be anyone to babysit you unless you have a manager team. You're all by yourself, and you have to pick yourself up every time, give yourself pep talks every time. having a good community around you definitely does help a lot. But at the end of the day, you have to make the work. Even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel like giving up, you have to say, I'm not going to give up. So, yeah. So there was this period when I was doing a lot of live streaming because I felt like everyone was at home, nothing to do. So I felt like maybe it would be meaningful to just have some late night live streams where I just talk about life. Actually, the response was pretty cool. I had about good 20-30 people tuning in every single night. And yeah, we just talked about life, played some chill songs, talked about what was important to us. This year especially, I think it's been a bit more of a year for reflection, taking a step back and thinking about what's the next step. Basically just generally thinking about what I want and then how I'm going to achieve it. And also taking some time to spend with family and friends, and doing other things. I've been fishing a lot with a few friends.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
I'm sure your self-reflection time will be worthwhile.
Yes. Ooh, tips and tricks. First tip, get a good amplifier. Please get a good amplifier because amplifiers can be a little bit pricey, but if you get something that's really, really cheap, it tends to bug out quite a lot. And then it's gonna sound really distorted. So get a good amplifier, especially if you're a musician or a singer, get a good amplifier. If you're a singer, get a good microphone as well. Doesn't have to be super expensive, just make sure you get something quality. So that's the equipment side. Number two, get a sign. Because your sign is something that you can use to just display and say hi, my name is da 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 da. You can catch me here, catch me there, yeah. Third thing is you gotta work on engaging your audience. Yeah, you gotta think about what makes you different from every other busker that there is. Again, if everyone sings the same songs, everyone sees the same things, and everybody is essentially just a reskin of every single person with different, slightly different length of hair. So, I'd say those are my top 3 tips. Also, don't feel entitled. Yeah, don't feel entitled because nobody owes you a living. It's quite a brutal truth, but I think it does need to be said. So nobody owes you a living, and I think that 2020 has shown that because the minute music stopped, the whole industry just collapsed.
That's true.
Yeah, and of course we wish that things would be different. We wish that there would be more support, but unfortunately, as I think Thanos said in Infinity War, reality is often disappointing. Okay, so if things change, then things change. But as of now, the way that things have been moving, the scene right now is not looking very. It's not. We're seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, but it's still a very, very long way to go.
As the saying goes, believe in yourself when you're halfway there. Yes.
Who said that?
Honestly, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure there's a saying like that.
Okay.
So before we end this episode of Pilots, can we get you to share some words of wisdom and encouragement to the viewers out there?
If you're a creative, or you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're trying to make a difference with the things that you are doing, or you're advocating for change, any kind of change, keep going, because I know it's difficult. I know that it's a thankless job sometimes, and I know that sometimes it feels like it's not worth it, but it is. And even if you can't see it right now, you will see it.
Do you want to drop your handle so that the viewers can also go and follow you?
Okay, yeah, you can grab me on Instagram at Andrew Paul Chen. That's Andrew Paul, Chen, no space. I post covers, other things, and really bad memes sometimes. Yeah, but I have an upcoming EP actually, called Hoover Park, which will be released sometime next year. Some of the first songs that I ever wrote. I haven't put anything out there yet. And I have an upcoming show on the 29th of December at the Esplanade Concourse. It's from 8:30 to 9:15, and it's going to be one of the first live shows of 2020. So please do come, bring a date, bring family, anybody that you want. Yeah, it'll be live streamed as well, so tune in if you can't join us.
Be sure to check it out.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing with us your experience today once again. It has been really inspiring, and thank you everyone for watching. So do also check out our other pilot episodes and also follow our IG at Verve Arts Fest for more updates on our other programs. Bye!
Bye. Wait, why did I thumbs up?